back to Pinky's Travel Adventures. We're heading off on our 7-day shakedown trip. So this one is just a quick trip up. It's about an hour north of where we live. Staying at Meleluva campground, which is in the national park. We're staying there for 7 nights, and we're going to give it a real test of off-grid camping for 7 nights. So it's going to be a static campsite, so we're going to fully rely on the solar and battery, and we're running a fridge and a freezer with all our meat and food, and we also have an esky for our veggies to keep them coolish. So we'll see how we go. We'll give you another intro. We'll do a walk around of the caravan when we get it all set up, and show you all the mods we've done. So it'll be great, and hope to do a bit of fishing.
Which we don't know how to fish.
We're not fishermen at all. So we bought a fishing rod and some plastics, and we're going to chuck that in the ocean and see if we can catch something. So that'll be interesting.
Not tonight. Maybe
no, not tonight, but I think sometime in the week ahead. So we'll see you shortly when we set up, and I'll come back. So this is the drive in to the Meleluva camping ground. Apparently this river is well, it's not a river, it's actually a drainage ditch. It's privately owned, so there's not supposed to be any swimming or fishing or anything in there. Spot, eh?
Yes.
Oh, just here.
Anywhere. It's fine. Preferably in the sun.
Sun up out there?
Yeah, that'll be alright.
And have a look. Stick a knife into it to see that it's okay. Looks awesome, doesn't it? I think that might do it.
I think so.
Okay. It's day 3 of our bush off-grid camping at the national park. It's about it's 11:30, and this morning we had a bit of an issue with the freezer that was in the truck. The truck battery ran flat, or the auxiliary battery in the truck, to be more precise, ran flat, and the freezer turned off. Luckily it was still frozen, so what we did, we pulled it out of the fridge, and it's sitting on the ground, and it's plugged into the caravan. Now I changed the ports on the caravan to match the fridge, just in case I had to do that. So they're running Merit plugs, Merit socket on here instead of a cigarette lighter socket, and a Merit plug on the freezer. So that's the freezer, and that's our fridge. And in there we keep all our meat and the frozen stuff for our longest days. And in the fridge is all our food, obviously, and underneath this is all our drinks. Is the beer and the Coke, and the tall bottle stood up there. So having unplugged the freezer from the car, it is now 97% charged at the middle of the day. So that's lasted 3 days sitting there doing nothing. So the solar panel on the car and the battery are not enough for just sitting still for 3 days. So we're halfway through the 3rd day. However, the good side of it is the freezer's been plugged in the caravan, and it was down to 80% this morning, and it's now just with the sunshine running the freezer and the fridge, it's now up to 97% charged. So hopefully, if the clouds don't come over, we'll have a full battery in the caravan again tonight. It's up to 98% charged now, so that's running the fridge and the freezer as well as being charged. So that's the 2 solar panels that got replaced under warranty on the CrossTrak, one on the lift up shower and one on the roof, and they're going quite well. I'm quite pleased with those. Okay, it's day 5 of our off-grid camping stay. No power, no water, and yeah, just to update you, I had took the fridge or the freezer out of the truck because the battery went flat, and plugged it into the caravan. So it ran for 2 nights. It ran day 4 and over night time of day 3, day 4, and then night time of day 4. And this morning we moved it back into the truck. The battery got down to 70%. Yesterday, all day we had a fair bit of sunshine, so running the fridge and the freezer off the caravan and getting the sunshine, it took till 3 p.m. before it got to 100% charge back into the battery. So it was a fair struggle for the solar panels to feed both those fridges as well as to recharge the battery. So yeah, we put the fridge back into the truck now because it's fully charged. So it'll go for 3 days now fine. And so back into, it's now 1 p.m. on day 5, and it's up to 90%. The battery's up to 90%. So I'm expecting, we've had a bit of scattered cloud today and some bit of light showers. So I'm hoping that we will get back up to 100% by 3 p.m. So we're in spring at the moment on the east coast of Australia, and the sunshine from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. is about all you can expect for the solar panels to produce any power. Obviously, the peak of the day from about 12 to 1 is when most of the power will be generated. Electricity requires a lot of sunlight to get full power out of them. So if I was going to run into trouble, I'd stick another panel on, so I'd have 3 panels to give us more power during those shoulder times. Okay, so we'll catch up tomorrow and see how we go.
Oh, here it comes.
Okay, let's talk water. Another reason for this 7-night trial was to test our water supply. Basically all we've got is the 2 under CrossTrak tanks that come with the Jayco, and I think they're 80 litres each. Well, this morning, was it this morning or last night, we emptied one of them, and that was after we had a shower. So we were figuring on having a shower every 2 days just to save on the water, because those showers actually use a lot of water. Now we've done some minor modifications. One was we tossed away that little trigger, that thing that came with the CrossTrak, because it was hopeless. When you squeezed it and let it go to let the water, it wouldn't come out again. It just wouldn't pump. So this works well. You just turn the tap on and off. So what we've done is we've adjusted the temperature on our hot water system so that it's 43 degrees, and that way we only need to turn the hot water tap on. You don't need to turn the cold tap on at all, and you only get what, 10 seconds of cold water and the hot water comes out. So that works quite well for us, minimal wastage, and you're not sitting there trying to get the right temperature. So we just set it at 43 and that's perfect for both of us. So we'll see how long we go with now running on one tank. Hi, it's the morning of day 6, and unfortunately Kempsey Shire or Kempsey local government area has gone into lockdown, and this camping ground, Meleluva campground, is in Kempsey area. So the ranger came and saw us last night and said we have to leave, and they're going to lock up the camping areas, the national park camping areas again. So we have to go a day early. And so just to recap you on, to fill you in, our electricity consumption overnight was pretty light. We got down to 86% of the battery. That's just running the one fridge. It was a pretty cold night, so the fridge wouldn't have worked very hard. And it's now 7:30 and it's just started to generate a little bit of power, and the gauge is going up. As far as water is concerned, we did empty that first tank. But the gauge shows that it's got 2 bars on it, and that's the empty tank. And the other tank, the second tank, the gauge says it's 3 bars on it. However, I doubt very much whether that much water is in there. So I'm going to measure that. I'm going to empty both those tanks to make sure, number one, that the first tank is empty and the gauge is totally wrong, and also the second tank to see how much is left in that. So I'll just show you the gauges now. This is the Jayco control. So this tank says tank 2, but that's actually our first tank, the tank nearest the drawbar, and this is our second tank. So we always empty the forward tank first, because that's the heaviest weight on the drawbar on the car, and then that's the second tank. So I'm going to go and empty those now into a bucket just to make sure, to see what the leftover water is. This is a 10 litre bucket, so it's 10 litres when full to the brim, and this is the empty tap for the front tank. So this tank, the pump wouldn't pick the water up anymore. It's because there's an isolation valve. You can select to draw which tank you want to draw from. So when the pump stops working, you've still got a fair bit of water in the tank. Those who are unaware, this device up here is a tap where you can select between the front tank and the back tank, and that's the feed to your pump. So that tap has a little white arrow on it. So if you twist it around, front tank, back tank. So I'm going to go ahead and call that, that's probably 10 litres of water that's still in the front tank that the pump won't pick up. So I'll turn that tap off and empty that bucket, and we'll see what's in the second tank. Okay, this is the second tank, and I'm expecting this to have a fair bit of water still in it. Well, I'm surprised that water flow out of there is not that faster than that. It looks like we're only going to get 10 litres out of the second tank as well. That's just dribbling out now, and that's still the first bucket. Alright, I'll turn that off now and empty that bucket, and I'll let it dribble in there for the next little while just to see how much is in there. So that bucket's been under that second tank, dribbling there now for about 10 minutes. That'll do. So what do we get out of that from the dribbles? We got 3 litres. Yeah, 3 litres. 3 litres of water. So in order, that's about 12 litres of water in that tank when it showed 2 bars on the graph. Now let's go and have a look at what the graph says on the J-Hub. So here we are now with both water tanks empty, and the first tank is flashing 1. That was the one I just let dribble out, and the second tank is empty. It's still got a few dribbles in it, but it's showing 2 bars, so there's obviously something wrong there. And yeah, just to update you, you see that? Yeah. So it's 88.5% now charging system. Sorry, iTech system. So I have a separate system for charging the batteries, so my J system doesn't report any charging anymore. Hi, we're just going to show you about our draft skirts that we got made. Now, first of all, I just bought 2 lengths of CrossTrak from Bunnings. We got the black one, so it matches a bit with the CrossTrak livery, and we just measured down to the ground and got a local upholsterer to knock it up, and he did. Put a bit of rope in there so it just slides on, and we can just peg that to the ground. When we got that back, we said, well, wow, we did such a great job. We thought, okay, let's get another one made for the other side. And then we went, oh, why not get one across the front, just in case wind's coming from that direction. So we got one made for across the front, which ducks underneath the A-frame, and it's just clipped on here with things that used to be on the sides of utes. And then we go around the other side. So I attached a CrossTrak there, and a piece across the top to cover the wheel arch. And so we made this one continuous length all the way across, and then sewed in a flap which covers the wheel arch. Now that does a pretty good job. It's got eyelets in the bottom of it. Again, we just measured it, gave the dimensions to the upholsterer, and he just made it up. Unfortunately, we didn't bring enough pegs with us this time to peg it down. And so yeah, there's our draft skirts. So eat your breakfast and will help us pack up, will you? Okay. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed spending this 6 days with us. It's supposed to be 7, but cut short.
Cut short.
And Pinky had a good time getting out from the stuck up in that caravan for too long. Got some fresh air. And unfortunately, fishing was not what we expected. As in, there was too much onshore breeze when the tide was right, and so we'll give that a shot next time. So we're not real fishermen anyway, so
no,
we're only pretend fishermen.
We did have a try. We
did have a try, yeah. So we'll catch you next time. Next time we're looking at a 6-night stay in a caravan park up at Yamba. Mm-hmm. So that'll be just catching up with the grandkids, so that'll be a little bit more low-key, but we'll show you some nice shots of Yamba. So stay safe wherever you are. Bye.
Bye.